welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the qualifying match here of the FEL, the Fusion Esports League 2025 Polish Championship Qualifier. We have two spots. We have two slots available here to make it through into the main event, into that Polish Championship, and we're here to determine our first of two players to make it through the upper brackets. Let's go, as we have a best of 5 qualifying match this morning. In the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss. It's the man of the hour himself. It is PAPI. Hey, PAPI. Let's go. Oh, are we in the wrong map? Are we? As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Trifax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of Trifax? Will it go the way of PAPI? Will it go the way of the Zerg or the Protoss? Up to you to decide. Let's go. Let us go. As coming into this, it's hard to say. I did mention at the start of the broadcast how a lot of these players have been MIA. A lot of them have been taking a break from the game, especially during the off-season and even coming into the circuit of EWC. Some of them only just recently returning to competitive play, and because of that, they're a little bit rough around the edges. Both Trifax and PAPI. I want to say they're both a little bit rough around the edges here. So who do we favor? Hard to say. I lean towards PAPI, but it's hard to say. Let's go. Trifax is warmed up. He's warmed up. He's good to go. He's ready. For now, hatch gas pool, send the opener out of Trifax. Likewise, PAPI going for the gate, expand into Cybercore. Now, when it comes to PAPI's playstyle, it's been a couple months since I've casted him, I'll be honest. It's been a while. Last time I did cover him, he was very fond of going for these Storm-based openers, these Archon drops into Storm. I mean, a lot of the Polish players were embracing that for a time. But again, that style has kind of fallen out of favor. It's fallen out of favor, it's fallen out of fashion. I don't know if PAPI's really one to embrace that here and now in the current meta. Likewise, Trifax has been going for the same style, at least against Nehead every game, going for a very heavy Ling Bane Hydra composition on 4 bases and delaying his tech. Did so twice in that series. I'm sure he's going to do so again here on Pylon as well. Sure is willing. For the time being, though, do see Trifax claiming his 3rd base. Likewise, PAPI back at home going for his own Stargate opener. Stargate into most likely Oracles. We'll see if he does go for a Void Ray or a Phoenix. There is a chance that he does mix it up. I'll keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him, as it is going to be the Oracle first. Okay, so Oracle first here out of PAPI. Meanwhile, the Overlord does confirm the Oracle that's on the way. Trifax fully aware. So pulls back. And up say poke in. They thread in the shade. So far, Trifax just droning, just saturating. Still building up. As Oracle does threaten them in alignment against Spores in position. Nice movement here, but very nice movement by Trifax. Does bait out, does do some decent hull damage here on the Oracle. Defends well. Does defend nicely. Wings getting in position. Oh, hello, and this is what I was waiting for. So it's going to be Stargate into what? Stargate into Robo, and I'm leaning towards a Robo into a Twilight Council into, yep, there we go, Twilight Council Forge on the way. This looks like two possibilities here, two possible builds here. As Oracles, they dive into the 3rd, they get 2 more drone kills, but nothing major. Still solid defense here by Trifax. Zorko does go back in. Oh, does finish off a good amount of drones. 5 drones. Better run by here by PAPI. But this does look like either a +1 into charge, into like an all-in with charge and immortals, or it looks like +1 into a Templar Archives, into Archon drop with a Prism into delay charge instead. So do we go charge or Archon, or do we go into Immortals? Oh, we are making the safety Immortal, not going for the War Prism. Okay. So Immortals are amassing. Charge should be on the horizon here, not blink. Yep, you can see here Zealots are warping in. You do not warp in Zealots unless you intend to go into charge. Now, does he go into Zealot Lakes into charge first, or into a Templar Archives? There it is, we have the answer. So Immortals and Zealots, a very aggressive build here from PAPI. This can hit quite hard. And this is designed to punish a player that does skip out on... Oh, nice scouts. This is designed to play that does skip at Roaches. But Lings, they come in, they surround the sentry, and what do we see? Zealots, and more Zealots as well. Takes down both sentries. Both sentries go down, and again, scan these Zealots screams charge. And he also sees the Immortal as well, so he knows it's not an Archon-based follow-up. So he knows no Archon, he knows no Storm, he knows Zealots and Immortals, which means we need Ling, Bane, Roach, not Hydra. There it's done, Roach speed is on the way, Roaches are amassing. Again, Trifax playing safe, this time investing into the Roach horn. Remember, he skipped Roaches in the entire series against Kneehead because he didn't need them. But against these more aggressive builds, I mean, Roaches are required. Armor required. Sure, because they poke in, they poke out. Big Mama is getting ready. Storm is on the way. Now, I had assumed that we were going to be hitting with charge and +1 as they're finishing up just now, but the answer is no. We see PAPI, he's actually holding back. He's not moving out. He's getting a 4th base, and he's waiting for Storm. Storm is on the way instead, so this is a much more passive style out of PAPI. This does mean that Trifax could have gotten away with earlier drones and earlier expansions. It's a late 4th and a late 5th base. That's why Trifax is double expanding, because his 4th base is late. So Trifax, he was getting ready for a push that never came. So he did overreact a little bit to what was coming across the map, and I don't blame him. It did look like a charge timing, but maybe because it got scouted, I mean, maybe that's why PAPI did kind of deviate away. Did pivot away from it instead. Rocks are being knocked down. Being run by are denied. So strat does go up. So Fire PAPI is keeping up. Roaches, they poke in, and they take a storm to the face. And Trifax, once again, we saw this last time, he's not droning. He's not droning, he's not saturating his 4th. He has the option to if he wanted to. But he's morphing in at 40 Zerglings, 25 Banelings. He is committing. Ooh. Stasis does go up. Does graze the army. Zealots get into the middle line. Drone's going to be going down. Trifax being forced all in. Banelings are making their way into the 4th. PAPI does react in time. Does pull away. Does pull away. Does split. That's still a lot of Banelings. Oof. They still crash in. And one more Baneling takes down 2 more probes. 5 in total. At the same time, Trifax trying to force his way forward, but it has to just so many Storms and Immortals. And now Trifax drones. Again, these workers are late. So late droning here. PAPI does take a lead. PAPI does take a lead. He's building on more Archons, building on more Storm, and Trifax is pretty committed. He's pretty all in here. He has to break through. He has to get some damage. Baneling towards the 3rd. Bailey's making their way into the mineral line. He does react. Nice storm, very nice storm. Takes down the Bailings. Trifax not achieving enough damage. And he's being outscaled. Now we see the infestation bit. He has to work towards lurkers, or towards lurkers. Oh god. Gets a High Templar, okay. Not bad. Takes down a High Templar. Bailey's making the way into the mineral line. PAPI out of position. He's rotating, but the mineral line is going to go down. Nice damage here from Trifax. Finally. Let's get 10 probes. So nice damage. Oof, at the same time though. Double run by into the bases. Drones are going down. Just a queen and one drone. Okay. Oh. PAPI counterattacks. I mean, he knows he has momentum. He breaks out. There are no Bailings to defend. They've got 24 Bailings just now morphing in. And how many High Templar? 5. Oh, okay. They're now moving forward. There's 4 High Templar with the main army. Storms are available. That's PAPI's expanding. Did I say 4? I should say 5. 5 High Templar. All the mass together. Lings, they attempt to run by. There's nothing at home to defend. Lings, they're going to get damage done. They force a recall. Yeah, Archon's recall back home. Storm is available. Oh my god, the storms are crazy. The storms are brutal. But Trifax defends. He defends back at home. That's what's important. Takes down 17 probes. And Trifax is back in this. Things were looking dire for Trifax earlier, but every time, we saw it against Nehead as well, he gets damage done. He gets the damage he's been looking for. At least so far. Even here, takes down a High Templar, surrounds the Archons, takes them down as well. Doesn't really break the 5th, but still trades well with his Zerglings. Getting into mineral lines. Picking up a handful of workers, forcing a defensive warp in. As Morling Rumbies move out across the map. The main army still looking terrifying. A nice round. Nice round, nice pickups. The Zerglings, they're popping up. They're trying to. They force back the army, okay. They force the army back home. Base itself is getting quite low. Trifax rotates towards left-hand side. Here there's no storms. The Archons are not ready yet. And Lings, they collapse in. No shield battery. Once again, nice damage here out of Trifax. Gets 2 more Archons. Gets 3 more. Oh, Jesus. Gets 3 more Archons as well. Bailings, they roll in. They get some okay connections. Roach Ravager does pull away, but the Ling Bane does pop up. As more Bailings gonna be rolling in. Oh god! Does pull away. Oh, just barely. Still 23 probe kills in total between the 3rd and the 4th. Still very nice damage. Rotating once again. Can he get on top of the expansion? He can. Will he kill it? He will. Gets a full surround. Takes down the Nexus. Takes down a couple of probes. And PAPI is being pulled apart. But the main army is terrifying. Like in a head-on fight, I still favor the Protoss. In a head-on fight, I have to. I mean, how many Immortals are there? 11! 11 Immortals! 6 High Templar. That's a terrifying army as long as there are storms. Ooh, but Broodlords are on the way. Okay. Nice tech here from Trifax. Working not towards Lurkers, but all the way up to Broodlords. Bold move. He's getting away with it. And thankfully for Trifax, no Skytoss. True, there's no Skytoss. No carriers, no Tempest, no Mothership, nothing to worry about. Only a ground-based army. It's a hefty army, don't get me wrong, but it's taken so long to move out. Bailings are denied. PAPI has momentum. Well, that's where the Broodlords come into play. And here they come. Broodlords, they come in for a flank. What's the anti-air? Storm and Archons. That's all there is. So he races back home. Broodlords are revealed. And there's no answer. The reality here is that there's no answer. PAPI has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. Back at home, we need a Stargate. We need Void Rays. We need anything. Oof. But now warping his Stalkers. Defensively back at home. Broodlords are pushing forward. More Stalkers going to be going down. Let us secure the Broodlords even further. Just chasing down the Immortals. Lings, oh, they come in for the full surround. And catching out the Stalkers, catching out the Immortal. Broodlords, they just bully back. Oh no, the Bailings, they bust into the mineral lines. And Trifax, he has done it at this point. He has broken the back of PAPI. I would say that PAPI had a stronger early game. Sure. He had a stronger start to the game, coming into the mid game, coming in towards the late game as well. But there was that one run by. There was that one moment where PAPI lost the mineral line. Remember, he lost 17 probes. His third was finally broken. And Trifax popped off. Broodlord's still pushing in. Lings 8 to 9 plus 3. Going for the tech. Let's get a kill in the Forge. Stalkers, they go for the dive. They get one. They get two. One lurker, sorry, one Broodlord left, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, GG gets called. Trifax will overwhelm, and Trifax will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Hi, Trifax. Oh my god, a very impressive comeback here. Again, things looking dire initially for Trifax when he was failing to get damage done. If you remember early on, we had Ling run-bys, we had Baneling run-bys, and they were being denied time and time again until eventually they weren't. Until eventually we saw one Baneling run-by sip in, one Ling run-by sip in as well, and soon damage was being done left and right. Soon it all just snowballed out of control, and with that, Trifax takes the game. GG well played. Not an easy game whatsoever there for Trifax, but alas, he was able to eventually find a chink in the armor, find a hole in the defenses of PAPI, and did abuse it. GG well played with that. We're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Trifax can extend his lead or if PAPI can fight back. So we are jumping into game number 2. And then game 2 is going to be on ley lines. Meanwhile, as we are, of course, diving headfirst into this best of 5, the lower bracket is progressing. It's progressing quite nicely. Plenty of matches underway. And ideally, it lines up in such a way where we wrap up our series, and then bam, we have the lower brackets best of 5 ready for us, one right after the other. That's the ideal, at least. We'll see if we can get there. There we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is PAPI. Hi, PAPI. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Trifax. And again, every game so far, game 1 and 2 against Kneehead, game even 1 here against PAPI as well, I want to say that he's been in a rough position, right? Like, he's been in a rough position, low economy, up against the wall, being forced to get damage done, struggling to get damage done as well. But eventually he finds it. Eventually he either catches out all the High Templar, or he does slip into a mineral line. Eventually he finds a way. Este Trifax. I have to stop doubting. True. I have to start having more faith. I have to look at the game state, be like, he's down in workers, down in supply, down in army, down in tech, but you know what? It's Trifax. He'll get into a mineral line. Okay, yeah, true. What can I say? I cannot dispute. It just keeps happening. He will get into your bases. He will explode. For now though, once again, hatch gas pool opener out of Trifax and a gate expander out of PAPI. Settling in, calming down, getting into game 2. Happy 4th of July. It's the 5th here. It's Cinco de Julio, papi. Cinco de Julio. There we go. 4th of July. That's like the... I almost said Michael Bay movie. No, the it's like the Will Smith movie, right? It's Welcome to Earth. There you go. That's that's what I associate that with. So it's peak Will Smith. Let's go. And so now we're gonna be. Well, I say peak Will Smith. I don't know if I would go that far. But you know, that era. That era. So now Trifax is joining and saturating. Likewise, you have a take of choice. Stargate open out of PAPI, working towards his Oracle, I would imagine. Oh, never mind. Okay. You have my attention. Void Ray first out of PAPI. Now, the advantage of the Void Ray is that it does allow you to hunt down Overlords and to deny vision, deny scouting, and to keep the Zerg player in the dark. The downside, of course, is your overall defensive setup is weaker. Oracles, they allow you to scout, they allow you to defend against Ling Realmwise, they allow you to get more vision, they allow you to harass mineral lines. Like, there's a reason why Oracle openers are the go-to, are the standard, just because of how versatile they are. Void Rays do leave you a little bit more vulnerable, but they at least deny Overlords. So Void Ray moves out, and behind this we do have an Oracle follow-up, and this can catch PAPI off guard. Sorry, it can catch Trifax off guard. We could see our Protoss player double down and go for a Twilight Council into Glaive Depths. We could see a second Stargate into a Fleet Beacon into Sky Toss, or we could just see a third base into a Forge, Twilight Council, plus on Blink standard follow-up. That's the thing about a Void Ray opener, is that you can play standard, or you can be cheeky and hide some tech. The goal here is to keep your build hidden, regardless. As we do have a Robo follow-up, this looks like just like Game 1. Winding it back a little bit as a reminder, PAPI, he did not play standard in Game 1. He went for a Robo opener into a Forge, a Twilight Council into +1 in charge, into a Mortal Production, into a Mortal Archon charge Storm. That's kind of the direction that he headed in. And looks like he's doing the same. We'll keep an eye on the tech, but so far it does look the same. So it is, there's that Forge, there's that Twilight Council. Again, we're expecting +1 in charge, not Blink. Immortal Production, yep, has already begun. Now, if you recall, in Game 1, we assumed that this was going to be an all-in. We assumed that this was going to be a charge timing. Like, when I say timing, I mean that once +1 in charge kick in, we move out across the map, and we hit with those upgrades, trying to strike then and there. But last PAPI, he didn't go for that. He instead expanded, took a 4th base, and teched up into Storm and Archons. He had a bit of a slower, tamer approach. Meanwhile, ooh, juice that I see, Overlord speed. Now, if this was any other player, I would assume this is Overlord speed to go into Drop Lords, to go into a Roach Queen all-in, to go into a German Taxi. But because we have +1 range on the way, there's a high chance that this might just be for scouting. I will say that, but Roach production has begun, so we'll see if Trifax does commit. The layer is complete. We just have Overlord speed finishing. Yeah, there we go. Link speed is on. Oh, sorry, links are amassing. And we should be going for the push. We should be going for the drop, for the all-in. Show us what you got. There it is. Drop Lords are on the way. Let's go. Drop Lords are on the way. Trifax is going for the all-in. What's a little bit... I mean, it's a little bit odd to see +1 range and to see Roach speed on the way, because these upgrades will not kick in for this timing, for this attack. These upgrades could otherwise be more Roaches and more army. So the push is going to be a little bit weaker as a result. There's going to be more of a follow-up. True, once the upgrades kick in. But I mean, ideally, you don't have to wait that long. Ideally, the game ends earlier. Ideally. As here comes the Drop Lord. I mean, these upgrades are true, they're almost done. It is somewhat lining up. They're going to finish up in the middle of the fight. Void Ray does reveal itself. Here Lings Roaches are amassing. Storm is not yet done. True. Storm isn't finished. Lings, they collapse in. Yeah, likewise, only one shield battery gets us around. Decent setup here. Where are the Roaches? Yeah, Roaches just now waddling in. The Roaches are late to the party. Lings, they just evaporate. Oof. Yeah, Trifax was premature with his Zerglings. The Roaches now they move in, but now there's no support. Storm is done. And the Storm is brutal. And PAPI is holding. He's holding, he's shutting this down. It cleans up all the Zerglings. I say that's a 10. Oh, the Lings are popping up. They're popping up in the middle line. 10 probe kills. 10 probes go down. Trifax still rallying in. Still trying to rally forward, but he's pushing into 2 Immortals. Scream is spreading. Nice kiting here from Trifax. Very nice. Spreading his DPS a little bit. There we go. Storm is ready. See Trifax trying to lure him out into the open. Oh! Takes down the High Templar. Takes down the Templar. Once again collapsing in. He wants that Immortal. And he's going to get it. He's going to get one. Takes down the Immortal. Takes down the Archon. Doesn't quite get the other. But nice trades. Behind this we have the Spire on the way. And honestly, he can keep going. Oh god. Never mind. The Storm is brutal. And what's important here is that Trifax has not been sending his gas. He's not been reinforcing with Roaches. He's been droning, he's been making Zerglings, and waiting for the Spire. And there it is. Bam! 10 mutas. 10 mutas are on the way. 11 mutas even, all at once. So a very cheeky follow-up here from Trifax. Behind this, now he can drone. He should be droning. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. Jesus. That's a lot of minerals. Where are the drones? Where are the... I mean, Trifax, he's only on 57 workers here. He's forcing himself all in, and now he's droning up. These supply blocks. Brutal supply block, late workers. Still no overlords on the way. Still no expansions either. We need those overlords. There it is, 5 overlords, but these overlords are late. So brutal supply block. These mutas have to get damage done. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they will. So far, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Probes, they just rally into their deaths. 9 probe kills. Oh, he's not done. Oh, god. The probes are still rallying. 12, 13, 14, 15 probes. He could keep going. Oh. Army's in position at the natural. Is in position, not at the 4th. Ling Roach moving in. Going for the surround. Doesn't quite get it. Meanwhile, PAPI, he just ignores. Yeah, he ignores the army. I do like this. Instead, oh, never mind. Okay, he turns back around. Leading out an Archon. Likewise, more storms being forced out. That's a lot of storms. So majority of the storms actually down to 2 High Templar and no storms on either one. That means no storms offensively across the map. Ling Roach rallying in at the same time. PAPI's going for the base trade. We commit to the base trade. Let's go. As mutas are being thrown away, bit of miscontrol. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol. PAPI, he will lose the 4th base, but it may not matter. He has a terrifying main army. And this army may never be dealt with. I say that shows the Biles. Biles on the Void Ray. They do connect. Oh, the Void Ray somehow survives, though. Just barely. Void Ray does live. Oof. Storm does run away. More reinforcements as well. We're still waiting for those Biles. Still waiting. The last Stalkers are just overwhelming, and PAPI looks like he's done it. Yeah, he has done it at this point. He blinks on forward, takes down the Ravagers, takes down the Queens. Boys are being pulled. And Trifax is getting desperate. He does race back home with some of his reinforcements, but GG gets called, and PAPI, he will tie up the series 1-1. We have a series, we have a back and forth. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we do have a back and forth here. We saw that despite the harassment, despite the aggression, despite the Muse doing a lot of damage, we saw that Trifax's, his economy was lackluster. Remember, he had a really low drone count. He got supply blocked as well, so his economy was still struggling to keep up. Likewise, his ground army was lacking as a result as well. His ground army was lacking, and we saw that PAPI just move out. He just move out, did overwhelm. GG does tie up the series. We're going to game 3. We're looking to find out who will take a lead in the series, who will gain momentum in this best of. We're getting ready here for game number 3. Getting ready for game 2. Sorry, game 3. Game 3 is going to be on Incorporeal. Okay. Incorporeal for the third game. Going to be a bit of a larger map of the map pool, larger compared to what we just had on ley lines. Longer rushes to spy grounds, but the bases are spread out here, so we could see Trifax be a little bit more successful with his aggression. We could see. As you can hear the beeps, we are loading in. Are going to be loading in. And I will need un momento after the initial intros. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. We're tying the series up and making a series out of this. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Trifax. I will need un momento. Actually, hold on. Can I leave you with Indy in the meanwhile? Yes. Yep. Un momento. Okay, we're back. We're good to go. Ooh, but again, a shout out to Indy. Shout out to Indy, PAPI. As I'm actually quite fond of his observing. Quite fond of it. I do like it. I think the most out of the other observers, not gonna lie. Indy. So now we are going to be settling in. So far it is going to be a standard opener for like the unnatural natural. So hatch gas pool out of Trifax, gate expand out of PAPI. But again, PAPI, he did mix it up. Did go for a Voidery last game, but still kind of led into the same direction here. Going into Charge, going into Immortals, going into Archons and Storm. So far we've seen the same style out of PAPI in game 1 and game 2. Has mixed up his openers a little bit, that is true, but overall the same style. Same end game and end goal. Meanwhile, from the side of Trifax, he has gone for more aggressive builds, but aggression nonetheless, right? Whether it was in game 1 or even the previous series, going for a really heavy Link Bane Hydra composition and committing quite hard to Link Bane Hydra, or in the last game going for a German Taxi. Regardless, we haven't seen more like tech-heavy, more economic styles out of Trifax. He's been avoiding that. So both players are quite stylistic in their own way. And we'll see if either player does break that trend and does bring something different to the table. As so far the roles that we've been taking here is the more aggressive style out of Trifax and the more defensive style out of PAPI. More defensive, at least initially. Double adepts at threading the bases. Good to break their way in. Meanwhile, it's going to be an Oracle first, not a Void Ray, out of our Protoss player. Out of PAPI. Ooh, as the Oracle does break in, 4 drones already going to be going down. Ay, ay, ay. Get brutal damage already. At the same time, Lings, they will deter the third. They will delay. So we're getting some damage done across the map. Lings, they do a thread and a dive. From now, Trifax back. So I will say so far this is the best start that PAPI has had in this entire series. As he moves in once again with 2 Oracles. Once again going for the middle line, gets 1, gets 2 more drones, gets 3, 4, oh my god, 5! Another 5, how many in total? 9. 9 workers have gone down, 10, 11, 12, oh, 13. This is critical damage. This is critical damage already. As he gets 1 more drone, 2 more drones towards the end. Pulls away, he will lose 1 Oracle, not even, the Oracle gets away as well. Queens, they try to intercept, but now they won't be able to. They won't be able to. And this is insane damage, and behind this PAPI, what's he doing? Ooh, okay, he's going into Immortal production once again. I assumed Immortal into +1 and charge, but no, for the first time this series, we have Blink on the horizon for PAPI. Not charge. So going into Immortals and Blink. Meanwhile, we have Trifax getting the safety Roach Warren, getting ready for charge, I would imagine. Little does he know that Blink Stalkers are all the way instead. And again, this is just a really strong start here for PAPI, taking down 15 workers for the price of 1, essentially. Hasn't lost anything except for the 1 probe. It's just been insane value. And right now, PAPI just has to confirm whether or not there's an all-in. Like, does Trifax all-in from here, or does he drone? That's what the Protoss has to confirm. Pokes in, gets eyes on the tech, gets eyes on the lair. Is aware that there's at least a lair on the way. This can still lead into a German Taxi, true. So PAPI has to confirm. Going for the Gateway Explosion, and oh, we are going into Aspire. Going into Mutaplay. Okay. I mean, again, Trifax, he is being a little bit cheeky here, but he has to be, right? He has to do something crazy. If he plays Standard, then he will just straight up be overwhelmed. Like, he will be overwhelmed. We need to see something different here in Mutas. I mean, that's a way to recover. That's a way to catch your opponent with their pants down. Question becomes, PAPI, is he wearing a belt? Does he have suspenders? Is he even wearing pants? Oh, no. As he is just taking a 4th base. I mean, this is still in line with how he's been playing out this entire series. Just a little bit more defensive. Just turtling up on 4 bases first before being active. You see Trifax trying to break that defensive line. Comes in for this round, but he is deflected. The Oracles do punish. Now the Lings, they did get eyes on the Immortals and High Templar. Huh. Now I pose a question to you. What do we see here? Zella Warpins. What don't we see? Any Stalkers? Was Blink a mistake? Remember, I was exclaiming earlier, I was like, oh my god, he's going Blink, he's crazy for the first time, he's going to do something different. He's warping in Zealots. He doesn't tell, he has one Stalker. I'm pretty sure he thinks he got charge. So Blink was a mistake. Oh no. Because otherwise you wouldn't be warping in Zealots like this. Like, he's warping in more Zealots. Here you can see them as well. He's warping in Slow Lots and 0 Stalkers. Yeah, now he starts. Yeah, now he realizes. Ay, ay, ay. So, an unfortunate misclick there from PAPI. Gets the wrong upgrade. See, I thought we were going to see something different here and something more aggressive, but no, it was just it was just a misclick. And I mean, Blink Stalkers, they can help against mutas, but the problem is that there are no Stalkers, right? There are no Blink Stalkers available. Mutas, they bust into the main. Probes are going to be going down, and PAPI is caught with his pants down. The pants are down. Ay, ay, ay. Losing a bunch of workers. The army, I mean, the army can't even respond. Now, again, thankfully he does have Blink, so he has some anti-air to work with. But not many Stalkers. Blink is revealed. Trifax is like, wait, oh, what's going on? It said depowering +2, not bad. Does depower. Ooh, taking an Archon shot to the face. Trifax has to pull away. As Bailey's waddling in. Bailey's speed kicking in just at the right time. Oh my god. The LA reaction. 12 probes go down. 16 workers full. And even though Trifax had a really rough start to this game, losing 15 workers, he was able to pop up and get 20 probe kills. Not just 20 probes, remember the mutas earlier, so 24 in total. 24, delayed +2 is still not repowered. Yeah, the pylon's still out of vision, out of range. Ay, ay, ay. And Trifax, he has recovered. He's back in this. Not just back in this, he's leading this even. Does magic books here on top of the High Templar. Collapsing in the Archon. He wants, oh god, does take an Archon shot to the face. But takes out one of the Archons nonetheless. That was an expensive trade here for Trifax. Bleeding out 7 High Templar. Sorry, 7 mutas I meant to say, for 2 High Templar. As Trifax is maxed. He's maxed out. Now, this is still a very beefy army here from PAPI. Very beefy. Oh god, speaking of, the Storms are brutal. Storms are insane. Bailey's, they do not get on top of the High Templar. Like, this army here from PAPI can still pop off. He can still break through. We just go back into the expansions. Back into the mineral lines. Oh. Yeah, it is going to be 9 workers. At the same time, Trifax pushing in. And he's just pulling PAPI apart. Just pull him apart back and forth. Storm does zone. But PAPI, he was trying to push out and he fails to, right? He's stuck at home. He's still stuck at home. Still stuck defending. Trifax once again maxing out. Moving in with more Zerglings, with more Roaches. He responds to the Roaches. Lings are collapsing on the High Templar. Not the most efficient trade as so many Zerglings go down to the Storms. So many Zerglings. But again, it's still just keeping PAPI pinned. He's pinned down. He's pinned back. Things they're moving in. They're collapsing on the Stalkers. This time there's no Archons, there's a Storm. So nice pick up there from Trifax. Gets one of the Archons. From here he can rotate once again into the mineral line. You can see PAPI, he does react to that. He does anticipate. He's ready. Meanwhile, pushing forward. Gaining ground. Mutas are revealed. Stalkers are in position. They do go for the dive. Mutas have to pull away, and we go for the base trade. Lings into the 4th. Mutas in towards the 3rd, and the main army just push right across the map. Yeah, PAPI doesn't care. Lings trying to catch out Stalkers as well. Trying to catch them out. Mutas back into the mineral lines. But this main army still is terrifying. I mean, how many High Templar? 6 High Templar, at least 6 Storms, at least. 4th base goes down, 3rd base as well. Mutas are racing back home. But can Trifax deal with this army? He's heavily supply blocked. Yeah, he cannot produce. Does turn around. Does turn back. Here come the Storms. Oof. Yeah, nice flyby though. Oh god, not the Storms! Yeah, he does stay into the Storms. The Archons, they wreak havoc. They clean up most of the Mutas. It's still quite close though. There's still a handful of Mutas remaining. They take down everything. Yeah, the Archons, the Warp Prism as well. Just barely the Mutas come out on top. And Trifax has done it. He has held. He holds. He defends. He counterattacks as well. Este Trifax. He's crazy. I mean, to magic box on that army, that was a bold move, and it worked out well. Worked out beautifully. And now what you see is what you get. This is the final army here for PAPI. He's down to 6 high. I mean, I say down to 6 High Templar. That's still a lot of High Templar. Mutas headed to the main. Lings, they do threaten the 3rd. PAPI moving in. Trifax is no longer supply blocked. So he's just knocking down bases. And he can just commit to the base trade even. There are 2 Stalkers and 1 Archon to defend back at home. There's a Cannon and a War Prism as well. Gateway's getting depowered. Mutas, they collapse in. They take down the Archon. And again, he can just go straight for the base trade. He can just go for the elimination. There are no probes out on the map. We can see PAPI racing back home. Oh, my apologies here. Saves 2 probes. Nice save. Nice save out of PAPI, but he can't afford a Nexus. Oh, yeah, he can't afford a base. The army does race back home. Mutas back into the main. Oh, Immortals are left behind. Uh-oh. Immortals are surrounded. The Prism can save 1. Only one. He's not going to save them. No, no. The Immortals. All 3 of them go down. Mutas, they find the Prism. More Immortals falling. I will beat out a couple of Mutas. Only a couple. Likewise, Trifax is running out of bases, and he's running out of larva as a result. Losing more expansions. Remember, there's still 2 probes here in the prison. They can throw down some gas geysers, some assimilators, some pylons as well. And PAPI's being revealed. Oh no! Oh god, he cannot lose that. Save the prism. Save the world. Keep it alive, PAPI. There we go. There's the assimilator. He gets 1. But again, he cannot afford a Nexus. The army turns around, racing back home. And this is the final building here. The assimilator. Oh, 2 assimilators, I should emphasize. 2 assimilators left. Meanwhile, Trifax, he has top right. He has another expansion. He's still fine. And we do see he's ready for another assimilator. Oh, Storms are ready. Drones are going down. And PAPI's trapped. Like, he cannot move out. If he moves out, he will just die. He will lose the assimilators, and that'll be game. So, like, a valiant effort here in the base trade, but he cannot keep base trading. He cannot kill the last buildings. At least he shouldn't. Otherwise, this happens. More Stalkers going down. Well, the Queens! Oh no, the Queens! Gets both. Both queens go down. Oh no, Lings are coming from behind. They threaten the assimilator. Don't quite get the kill. More Lings are on the way. Ooh, we go for the mass dive. There are just so many storms, but GG gets called, gets surrounded, and Trifax, he will take a 2-1 lead in the best of 5 qualifying match. Whew, GG, an impressive comeback once again here from Trifax, where Trifax, he once again had a rough start. He had a rough start to the game. He lost 15 drones. That should have been game-ending damage, but remember what happened? He didn't just get into muta play, he didn't just get away with mutas, but we also saw that that PAPI, he had a really he did make a mistake there. He accidentally made blink instead of charge. Because of that, he had a bunch of zealots that weren't really effective. You could argue that blink was better just because it was up against mutas. I would say that is true, but the problem there was that he didn't know that he had blink. So even though he had blink ready, and because he was not aware, he had no stalkers. He had no stalkers pre-warped in. He was not massing up a stalker-based army because he thought he had charge. He didn't know that he had blink instead. So unfortunately, despite having something that was a little bit better for muta play, he was not ready for mutas regardless. And with that GG. With that GG will play. The mutas and lings, they just tore, and sorry, specifically the mutas and the banelings specifically, and the lings as well, did just tear PAPI apart. He just had a really hard time keeping up with the mobility of that mutaling bane army. He was losing mineral line after mineral line, worker after worker, Archons, High Templar as well. Just really nice fast play there by Trifax, pulling PAPI apart and pulling himself back into that game. GG. GG well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 4, and we'll see if Trifax will claim his spot in a part of the main event in the Polish Championship, or if PAPI is able to force the ace match. Here we go. Oh, as we are getting into our next game. Getting to our next game. Looks like we do have some updates. Looks like the lower bracket is progressing. And we are making our way towards the end of the broadcast here. Of course, this is still the upper brackets qualifying match, but there is that lower bracket qualifying match as well. The loser of this series will have another chance to make it through into the main event. So these two players have a second life. They have a second life. They have another opportunity. Go. As spawning in this upper hand corner here of Magnatha, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. Down in the series, we'll see if we can force the ace match and force the game 5. It is PAPI. Hi, PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Polish. I almost said Polish Protoss player. The blue Polish Zerg player, leading the series 2-1, one game away from qualifying for the main event. It is a Trifax. We go. As PAPI moves in, and the base is denied. With that, of course, Trifax forced to expand elsewhere, forced to expand at the third location. But welcome to Magnatha. Magnatha is the largest map in the map pool. We don't often see games on Magnatha in recent times, I will say that. Because it's one of the more extreme maps, it's often vetoed. But that is also why we get to experience it here in a best of 5, where there are less vetoes. Less vetoes here, so we get to experience some of the more extreme maps, like Pylon, like Magnatha as well. And even at times, Torches. At times. For now, though, we are coming down. We are going to be joining, going to be saturating. And we'll see how our players will adjust. Now, coming into this, especially with how PAPI's been playing so far, I do favor him on Maganatha, just like how I favored him on Tokamak. On some of these maps, which are a little bit larger with a longer rush distance by ground, I do think that's going to be favoring a defensive player. But unlike on Tokamak, these bases are more spread out. They are much more spread out here on Maganatha, so they're a little bit more accessible, and we could see Trifax pull PAPI apart. It is possible here. It's going to be that much more difficult to defend these fringe bases. So we'll see if PAPI can keep up. We'll see if he can keep up. As for now, we do have a pretty standard early game here. Just going to be joining, just going to be saturating. It is going to be an Oracle first opener out of PAPI. He did go with Void Ray first at one time, but only that one time. He's not really relying on that. And again, he hasn't really been too aggressive either. I'd have to say shade into the main. They get 2 drone kills so far. Now we saw PAPI pop off with his Oracle harass previously. Can he replicate that and do it again? But this time, can he capitalize on that and actually get into his own build and actually get into the mid game in a decent position? We'll see. As things, they move out across the map, they force the Oracle to stay back home. As they hit the third. Fortunately, these were the 15 drones whose job was to hold his pants up. Oh no. Ah, no. Those are big pants. 15 drones, or drones are small. It's one or the other. How big is a queen? How small are drones? This is where we need that to scale mod for comparison. Hey. Well, like, Overlords are massive. Which makes sense. They're like bigger than hatcheries. As double Oracle to the base. Ooh, but does overextend. One Oracle does go down. Oh no, he gets too greedy. He gets a little bit too greedy there. Takes some more damage. 7 drones do fall in total, but the Oracle does barely get away in just the 1. This is still good damage here from PAPI, but I will say this is slightly better defense compared to last game. Last game, remember, he lost 15 drones and didn't kill a single Oracle. This time he's holding his own. Dishing out more damage. Still does get 2 probe kills across the map, not bad. Plus on melee on the way. This tells us that most likely if Trifax wants to skip out on roaches, but against an immortal heavy composition, we will need those roaches. We'll need that roach ravager. Once again, immortal production, once again, Forge and Twilight Council, and this should be +1 in charge. Remember, the one exception was last game where we saw Blink, but clearly it did seem like it was a mistake. It was not intentional to not get charge. Or if they move out, they get 1 drone. Once again, they take a lot of hits, a lot of damage. The money for it's what's going on. Waiting for that upgrade. Gateways are being thrown down, gases are being taken. Oh, okay. Blink is on the way. Alongside these gases. Interesting. So he does open some zealots. Now, again, last game, to me, it's clear that Blink was a mistake and that it wasn't intentional. This time, though, especially with the Temple Archives being thrown down right next to the Twilight Council, this has to be intentional. He does have a couple of zealots here, but this could be a fake out. If he warps in more zealots, then we can say that it was a mistake again, but currently I believe he's staying on a low zealot count to reveal this, when really he wants to try to build up a stalker count instead. As warping in more zealots. No shot he's doing it 2 games in a row. No shot. There we go. Warps in some Link Stalkers. That's to deal with the Overseer at least. These Oracles do move out. Oh, sorry, the Oracles are base back home. Storm is on the way. Blink is halfway done. But yeah, I think it's only 3 Stalkers, right? So only 2 Stalkers. Like, once again, the Blink doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. In my mind. What's happening? What's going on? Oh, meanwhile, for the first time here, we're rushing into Hive Tech. Okay. Trifax, interesting, is rushing into Hive. Now, typically, with a player rushing into Hive like this, I would assume it's going to be something like Ultras, but because we're getting to +1 range, and because we're matching up Hydras, it should be for a rush into Lurker Tech, into Lurker upgrades. Or maybe not. By now, okay, there we go. There we go. I was going to say, we should see a Lurker Den by now, and it's just now starting. Charge now is on the way. And again, there are no Stalkers. just like last game. No shot it's intentional, right? No shot. It might just be a precaution in case Mutas were to pop out, I suppose. If PAPI wins this series, I will ask him about it for sure. Only if he wins, though. Like again, if he does lose the series, then I'm not gonna question him about it. But this is piquing my interest. I guess it kind of makes sense in my mind. If PAPI knows he's not going to push, if he knows he's going to be turtling like this, then there's no need to rush into charge just because defensively your opponent's going to run into you anyway, right? So it honestly might just be a precaution in case there's mutas. That might be the rationale for it. Token Swarmhost, let's go. Token Swarmhost on the way. Lurker upgrades are in production. Hive is done. The one thing that we're missing here is Vipers, I believe. Yeah, no Vipers. As we could make use of a handful of them. As we see PAPI, he does poke out. +2 is almost done. I'll say to push in, taking down the Spine Crawler. More Lurkers amassing. Oh no, the Token Swarmhost. Duh. It goes down. So he does run into Mass Lurker, and again, against Lurkers, he cannot push forward. Not against this many. Oh, no, oh, that's 3 High Templar go down. They did line up. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, Hydras they counterattack, but there is a wall of Zealots here to defend. Hydras, they will clean this up, though. Cannons are depowered. Lurkers is going to be moving in. They do take a storm to the face. I believe that was the only storm. And they can't just keep pushing. Oh, good. A little bit late to borrow, a little bit, but still does punish. Still takes out more Immortals. Hydras are cleaned up. PAPI, he defends back at home. And it was a bit of a messy fight here from Trifax. He bled out how many? 6 Lurkers. Ooh, 6 Lurkers for 2 Immortals, 1 Archon, a good amount of Zealots. But again, the Immortal count here is still very high. Going for the Nidus. Nice on the way. Lings, they get on top of the expansion, they're at least trying to. Base is getting low. Main army does pull away. Likewise, Prism racing across the map. You'd have to ask Yaku. Sure, he would know, PAPI, he would know. Yaku, he has the answers. As PAPI has built up a Death Wolf army. Now, something to bear in mind here is that Lurkers are good against a good anti-ground, of course, as will they catch up 4 Archons. I was about to say that if PAPI does bring this all together, he can still break through the siege line and break through all the Lurkers, but he bleeds out 4 Archons already. A rough start here for PAPI. Speaking of, we'll lose another Immortal. Oh god, Lurkers, they try to move in. Brutal Storm. And the Lurkers are exposed. They're going down one after the other. As you can see here, Mass Immortal, they just chew through these Lurkers. Ay, ay, ay. Who needs Skytoss back? I mean, Skytoss is on the way, true. He is taking up. But again, Lurkers, they're so vulnerable if they have no support. Speaking of, this time they have it. Yeah, this time there's Lings and Hydras in front of the army. With support, that's where Lurkers can excel. As they need that buffer to protect them. So better fight towards the end for Trifax. Lings get into the mineral line. Take down the cannon. Picks up an Immortal as well. As carrier production has begun. Now, Trifax is not really set up to deal with Skytoss, as more Lurkers are getting caught out. Ooh, Trifax tries to rotate. And PAPI does not find those Lurkers. Whew. You're lucky there for Trifax. I spoke too soon! Oh no, the Lurkers! They're getting caught out! They try to waddle away. They do barely make it out. As 2 Lurkers do fall. 5 Lurkers left. They do borrow. They hold the line. The base is getting very low, but it's not targeted down. And with that, PAPI is holding. And he's got his Skytoss. The carriers, they have arrived. And Trifax does not have the best anti-air army, not yet. Oh! As 2 models go down. Jeez, they just get deleted. Models do fall, Prism as well. Trifax rotates. Nice behind the 5th. Lurkers in between the bases. They're going to be quite exposed. And we'll see if it's worth it. Yeah, Lurkers are going to be the first to go down. Every Lurker will fall. And there's an expensive loss here for Trifax, as he will lose the Lurkers and he cannot engage with his Hydras. Yeah, just really well positioning there for Trifax. He gets 1 High Templar. And he's poked the bear. Yeah, PAPI is here to force the ace match. He's maxed out. He has a terrifying army. He's pushing. And there's almost pure Hydra to defend. There's some Zerglings on the way. We have a couple of Infestors on the way as well. How many? There are 3 Lurkers. Oh god, as the Overlords are getting caught out. Trifax almost supply blocked. Tries to lunge forward. They trade with the Interceptors, okay. So pick them up. But Trifax is hurting. Again, he doesn't really have the best economy either. It's okay, but I mean the losses just have been brutal. Just burning through his bank, or at least trying to. The bank is decent here for Trifax, but he's struggling when it comes to his own lava, when it comes to his own macro. Needs to rebuild. Once again, still no Vipers. No Spire. Yeah, no Spire either, no Corruptors. The Mass Carrier can excel here. And he's going for it. Oh, god. Like, Mass Carrier isn't amazing, but against Hydra, like, it can pop off. Here come my Microbial Shrouds. But there are plenty of carriers. And despite the Microbial Shrouds, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. They clean everything up. And we are going to the ace match. We're going to game 5. GG gets called. And PAPI, he will tie the series up 2-2. We're going to that final and 5th game. GG. GG, well played. We're going here all the way to the ace match. Again, a very intense back and forth here. As we mentioned at the beginning of this game, Maganatha is a large map known for macro builds, known for macro play, and we were curious to see if PAPI could successfully turtle up on Maganatha. We spoke about how the bases are more spread out and more accessible, and we did see Trifax achieving some damage, but we saw him just lose so many Hydras, and more importantly, so many Lurkers. He just had some really expensive trades, and it just was not quite worth it, losing so much high value units for not much really to reward that. With that GG well played. Oh. We're now getting into game number 5. We're jumping to game 5. Game 5 is going to be on Tokamak. Wait, did we not already? Am I crazy? Did we not just have a game on Tokamak? Oh, we didn't. Okay, so my apologies. I am crazy. I was thinking about the previous series. So welcome to Tokamak. I do favor PAPI on this map, but Tokamak is known for having being a larger map, having a longer rush distance, but also being very defendable on 4 bases. More so than Maganatha. It is, I would say, easier to defend on 4 bases, specifically on this map, than on Maganatha. So the idea of PAPI opening up more defensively and slowly building up towards the mid game, towards the late game as well, I feel like that's something we're going to see it again. We're probably going to see it again here. And it's on Trifax to stop that. Do we go for another German taxi? It's possible. It's possible. For now, though, we are getting ready. There we go, we're loading in. From here, we're going to be loading in. Meanwhile, the lower bracket has been progressing quite nicely. It looks like Angry takes on Eno, Nehead takes on Mathrix, and we have Angry versus Nehead currently mid-series. While we're in the middle of our own, of course. And here we go. We have made it to the final game. There's the ace match. And spawning in the right-hand corner here of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, bringing us all the way to the ace match to game 5. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Zerg player, the Polish Zerg himself, being forced into the ace match. Can they bring it back? It is Trifax. Go. Again, Trifax has been very aggressive this entire series, not just this one, but the previous series as well. And Trifax, his end goal, his end game, his goal in all of these games is to end the game early before Skytoss. But this is where some of these maps do work against Trifax, and they help PAPI when it comes to turtling, defending, and taking up in that direction. And we'll see if PAPI can do it again. We'll see if we can do it again here on Tokamak. Again, the pressure is going to be on Trifax here to pull this off. Let's go. Sorry, just stretching. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to stretch. Posture check in the chat. True. Hello. As the pylon gets thrown down, so far standard opener, gate expanded to Cybercore, hatch gas pull out of Trifax, but that pylon is suspicious. Typically when we see a Stargate opener, the pylon is thrown down a little bit closer here to the edge of the main to reduce the time it takes for the Oracle to get across the map. The fact that it's thrown down a little bit further behind, do we see a Twilight Council opener? Do we see a... Oh, hello. That's another gateway. Again, this pylon said it all. Like, pylon placement can be quite telling here, and again, we're expecting something like a Robo or a Twilight Council. If it's a Stargate, I was expecting like a Void Ray instead of an Oracle. It's going to be that much more difficult here for Trifax to scout to confirm. assuming that we go for a Stalker. The Overlord is moving in. No Stalker to deny the Scouts. Okay, going for a 3-gate setup. Jesus. It's a lot of gateways early on. No tech. The Overlord doesn't go further. It does check the gases, but only the gases. As I say, very gateway heavy start here from PAPI. Again, I was expecting PAPI to go for more of the same and just be more defensive, but no, he's being more aggressive instead. Yeah, being quite dedicated. Now, this is late. He has 100 gas. Like, he had the resources for an earlier Twilight Council. This is kind of weird. Again, it's just a really heavy gateway start into delayed Robo and delayed Twilight Council into, I would imagine, a 2-base all-in. That would make the most sense in my mind. Again, that's a lot of depths early on, more than usual. We have vanilla depths, but there's a lot of them. And typically, Zerg players aren't used to this many depths this early on. Roach Warren has been thrown down just to be safe. Trifax has been droning. Trifax does not really have much of an army. And we're going into Glaives. Ooh, we're going into a 2-bay Glaive Depths all-in. That's a massive gateway explosion here. 6 gates. 6 gates on 2 bases. We're pulling back into gas. A little bit inefficient here when it comes to saturation. The Overlord will confirm. Trifax going back in. Does get eyes on the Twilight Council. He sees, he knows. Yeah, let's see the massive gateway explosion. Again, gas income is not too efficient here. These Zeps have potential. Yeah, they get into the mineral lines. Drone's going to be going down. He gets 1, 2, 3. 3 drone kills already. More depths are building up. It's nice damage so far here from PAPI. Meanwhile, Trifax, because of the scouts, he's making roaches. He's making nothing but roaches. He is on 1 gas. Oh, okay, so only 1 gas income, so he has very limited roach production. And he's supply blocked. Uh-oh. Overlord's on the way. Trifax is supply blocked. Here come Mass Adepts. And there aren't that many roaches. To be fair, there aren't that many drones either. Adepts are moving in. That's going to be how many? 19 Adepts! They cancel the shade. They're going for the Queens. There's 1 transfuse, the only transfuse. Lings, they attempt to surround. Adepts, they do break out. They're going for the shade. Yeah, they commit. Lings are waiting. Yeah, Lings, they're waiting. They're ready. Prism under fire. Prism does unsiege in time. Adepts making their way into the bases. Yeah, Lings, they do full. 4 drone kills so far. Shading into the main. Getting another drone. 5 drone kills. Doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, Trifax, he wasn't droning to begin with. He was not droning, but he's being shut down. Trifax, he shuts down the Adepts. They get 6 drones, but ideally, PAPI wanted more. He wanted more than that. He does have a higher worker count. He does have a better economy. And he's building up Immortals. Building up Immortals, now taking a 3rd base. Trifax is droning. Trifax is counter-attacking. And if there are no Adepts at home to defend, this 3rd base should be cancelled. It should be denied. The wall is open, but there are Adepts at home. Lings, they force a recall. Oh, they waste some DPS on the Immortal. Had to get on top of the Nexus. Gets 1 Adept, but remember, these are Glaive Adepts. And again, I was so close. Could have forced a cancel, not quite able to. Not quite able to in the end. Adepts into the main, 4 drone kills. Brutal damage. Shades into the natural. Did I say 4? Getting up to 7 drone kills. 7 drones going down. And Trifax, he's kind of being forced into an all-in here. There's no lair. There's no lair. There's limited gases. Building up more Zerglings. We'll see if he drones or not. As Trifax is in a rough position. No, not again. This time shouldn't lose too much. Losing 1. Just 1. You know, PAPI is saturating back at him. He's got a hefty Immortal count. Alas, Adepts, they bust into the main. Shade into the natural. They focus on as many drones as they can. This is brutal damage. 7 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. PAPI achieving quite a lot. And yeah, PAPI does have a worker lead, or he does have an economic advantage. He's ahead economically, building up more immortals, working on the forge. I'm a little bit surprised that he has yet to begin charge yet. There is no charge, or blink stalkers. There we go. Charge now on the way. And how can Trifax recover in this kind of game? Well, there are a couple of different ways. He can go into mutas again, true. He could do the same thing he did on Incorporeal and go into mutas and go into mass muta harass. Otherwise, he could double down on Lingbane or Ravager and do something similar and just go for mass harassment there as well. And hope and pray that he can get into a mineral line and deal economic damage. It's worked in the past. It's worked tonight. See. Otherwise, you could try to re-drone and resaturate and try to catch up economically. That is the, I would say, even maybe the more difficult part to go down, part to walk. Is that a prism? Those are bios. Prism did go down. Yeah, there it is. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was a prism. So nice knife there with the war prism. Trifax able to bile it down in the end. Very nice. And prism forced to rebuild. 4th base on the way for PAPI. Getting his 4th. Rock's being knocked down. And Trifax is cutting workers. He does have a 4th base. Sorry, he has a 5th base even, but he's staying on a low drone count. He's staying on a low gas count. 66 workers is a 3 base all-in. 3 base all-in here by Trifax. Going into mass Lingbane Roach. Storm is done. And storms, oh god, they do pop off. Brutal storms on the Banelings. Yeah, the storms are insane. Nice force fields as well. Banelings, they do not connect. And they're trying to... And Trifax, he plummets in supply. Remember, he's all in. He has no longevity in this game. What you see is what you get. Does rush forward. Trades decently well against Zealots. It's an okay trade. But he needs more than that. He needs more than just trading with the army, especially when you're down this much economically. He's getting ready for Wave 2. Wave 2 is coming. But the longer this game goes on, the better it is for PAPI. As we have 20 Banelings morphing in. Oof, Roach is getting caught out. Expensive losses. And Trifax can't afford to lose these Roaches. He's not making any more. Prism moving in. Put this around, not bad. Getting an immortal. At least trying, there we go. Does get one. Does force out the storms coming for the surround. And with all these Ducklings, he will catch out the army. Okay. Esther Trifax catches out everything. Does go for the recall. He saves one immortal. Not even. Yeah, not even the immortal does go down as well. So Runway does find some damage. Drops his head towards the 3rd. Prism is ready in the main. Queen's already in the main, I should say. Prism is zoned away. And again, Trifax took a very nice fight. It's better than I would have thought. So despite Trifax being 3 base all in, like, he's achieving some damage here, but he needs more than that. Again, he has to win a fight and then bam, hit a base and knock down an expansion. But it's going to be even more difficult here with all the stack defense. Wall of cannons on the way. 5th base is spotted. Trifax rotating going towards right hand side, but the cannons are still not yet ready. Lings moving in. Lings have to get the hell out of here. Oh, they're left eye a little bit too long. But nice engagement. Takes down one of the Archons. But again, that was a lot of Link kills. Pushing into the expansion links, they move back in, they knock down the tech defense, and are we going for another base trade? Nah, PAPI turns around. He turns around, at least somewhat. Fourth base is gonna fall, fifth base as well, and PAPI, he returns home with only half his army, which means Trifax, he can take a fight. He can take a fight here. Knocks down one base, knocks down the other. PAPI, all he had to do was defend, but he is also getting bases. The expansions are falling. Expansions are falling. Bases are going down. Prism does fall, but that's going to be 1, 2, 3 hatcheries. Okay, 2 hatcheries. Whew. Just barely. 2 hatcheries go down. 1 hatchery barely survives. But we're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. Trifax is on a 2-base economy, and meanwhile, PAPI's on 3. He's on 3 bases. I mean, he has an economy to work with. Trifax, I mean, I guess technically he's also on 3 bases. True. Things they move in. They force a cancel. In my brain, I keep assuming that this base is dead. It's on 3. That's a lot of High Templar. That's 10. 10 High Templar. 10 Storms. This army's insane. Army's crazy. Does distract. At the same time, moving in. Shouldn't get much done there. Okay, here come the Storms. Whack, Storms are ready on the left hand side as well. Nice dodge. Dodge. Trifax has to get the hell out of here. Lings aiming from behind. They could either surround the army or go for the expansion, and they're going for the base. Good call. Does go for the Nexus. He won't get it though. Yeah, he will not get the expansion. That was his one hope. And here comes PAPI, knocks down the base. Swarm host, okay. I mean, that's a good way to make use of a lackluster economy. Ooh, Swarm hosts are denied. 10 Swarm hosts do pop. Warrior saves are coming in. Swarm hosts have to pull away. The Storms are still brutal. Yeah, PAPI's done it. He has done it. GG gets called PAPI. He will overwhelm the army, and he will claim the series 3-2, qualifying for the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here, PAPI. He will claim it. A very intense back and forth. He was up against the wall, but he won 2 games in a row towards the end here, able to show off his defensive prowess. But not just that, here in the ace match, he went for a very cheeky build, going into a 3-gate opener into 6-gate 2-base Glaive Adepts, and he did tear Trifax apart. Did tear him apart there. He just could not keep up. He could not maintain those losses. He was just losing far too much, far too quickly. He was overwhelmed. And we did see PAPI pop off. He popped off with not a standard build. He popped off with something different with Glaive Adepts. We saw he dealt critical damage. With that, he was able to defend back at home with his Mass Immortal. Trifax, it was on him to try to recover, try to bounce back, and he did take some really good fights. I was very impressed. Specifically with the surround in the center of the map, where he was able to catch, what was it, 5 Immortals. The recall didn't save anything, and after that fight, he was clawing his way back into it. And the best chance I think he had was the base trade. He went for the base trade, he forced the base trade, things got chaotic, but even though he was killing bases, he was also losing expansions as well. So it was just a little bit shaky there, and in the end, PAPI does claim it, PAPI does advance on. Congratulations to PAPI. Congratulations to PAPI for advancing on into the main event. Meanwhile, Trifax is knocked down to the low brackets. Bam, let's catch up on the bracket, let's catch up on the matches ahead of us here. Scrolling down, you can see here, you can see Angry and Nehead. They're facing off. They're currently mid-series in a best of 3, and the winner of that series goes up against Trifax in the final qualifying match of the event of the qualifier. So here we go. TBD. So we have 1 series remaining. I mean, technically we could jump into Angry versus Nehead mid-series in that best of 3. Possible. Depending on where they are in the series. Otherwise, up next should be a best of 5 between Trifax and the winner of Angry and Nehead. Either a ZVT or a ZVP. One or the other. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. Here. And when we come back, we'll have our next matchup. Again, it's either going to be mid-series between Angry and Nehead or the final qualifying match. One or the other. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.